Welcome everybody to the music show. I'm Ray Braselton, your host. Little sad news for us all. I want to let you all know that Uncle Nick has passed away. He's not with us on the music show. It is a hard thing to be without him. We got his chair here, and he's of course here with us in spirit. But meanwhile, I did want to let you know that we have a great band for you. It's an Irish band called Athenrye, and they are from the Rochester area, all over the Rochester area. I think Irondequoit, Webster, and just in the area. Do basically Celtic type Irish music, and they are playing at different places now, especially being St. Patrick's Week and everything. They are pretty busy. I think you'll really enjoy them. They've got, as you know, Irish music tends to be very emotional, so there's a lot of stories behind Irish music, some sad stories, some real funny stories, and some exciting stories, and you know, battle stories, and every story you can think of. They really document their history well. These gentlemen, I think, will impress you. They have a couple ladies with them in the group. One plays flute, one plays violin, and then you also have your mandolin and your banjo and your guitars. It's a pretty good sized group. I think there's 6 altogether. So, you know, stay tuned for this great show. We will have our regular segments, our interview, of course, of the group, and we'll also have, we will have Uncle Nick's Corner. We're going to continue his corners for a while, and we'll be doing, of course, the showcase, which is going to be on Celtic type drums, and then our round table. So everybody, you know, stay tuned, and let's enjoy the show. See you in a little while.
We're a band called Athenrye. We all are from the Rochester area, and we play Celtic music, Irish, Scottish, sea shanties, and tons of other stuff. But tonight we're going to play Irish stuff for you in honor of St. Patrick's Day coming up. This song is a song called Newry Highwayman, and it's a song, one of many songs about Irish outlaws. And this is a song about a guy who lived a long, long time ago, stole a lot of money from a lot of rich people, and kept most of it for himself. It goes something like this.
In Newry town I was bred and born. In Stephen's Green now I lie in scorn. I did my time at the salmon trade. I always was a roving blade. I always was a roving blade. At 17 I took a wife. I loved her dearer than above my life. But to keep her in fine array, I went out robbing on the King's Highway. I went out robbing on the King's Highway. I never robbed any poor man yet, or any tradesman that I beset. But I robbed lords and ladies fine, and carried their gold home to my heart's delight, and carried their gold home to my heart's delight. I robbed Lord Baldwin, I do declare, and Lady Mansell in the Governor's Square. I closed my shutters, bid them good night, and carried their gold home to my heart's delight, and carried their gold home to my heart's delight. Take it! let me have 6 highwaymen to carry me. Don't give them Brussels with liberty. Don't give them Brussels with liberty. And 6 bells to bed and give them garlands and the ribbons all. And when I'm dead, they will speak the truth. I was a wife with you. I was a wife with you. Take it, boy!
So this next song, it comes out of the Canadian Maritimes, northeast of Halifax. It's called Farewell to Nova Scotia. The sun was setting in the west, birds were singing on every tree. All nature seemed inclined to rest, but alas, farewell to Nova Scotia, you sea bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean toss, will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? I grieve to leave in native land. Grieve to leave me comrade old. In me poor aged parents whom I love so dear, in me bonny, bonny lassie that I do adore. Farewell to Nova Scotia, you sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. Oh, when I am far away on the briny ocean toss, will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? The drums do beat and the wars do alarm. The captain calls, I must obey. So farewell, farewell to Nova Scotia's charm. For it's early in the morning and I'm far away. Farewell to Nova Scotia, you sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean toss, will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? I have 3 brothers, they are at rest. On a folded on their chest. But a poor and simple sailor, just like me, was being tossed and driven on the deep blue sea. Farewell to Nova Scotia, you sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean toss, will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me? Farewell to Nova Scotia, you sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I am far away on the briny ocean toss, will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me?
Well, hello everybody. We're glad to be with you today, and we hope you've enjoyed what you've heard so far. This is the band, the Irish band called Athenrye, and I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves. You want to start, Mark?
Great. I'm Mark Head. I'm from Athenrye here in Rochester, and I play banjo and guitar. And it's just a joy to play music and be with my friends. And I hope you liked it.
Now, head, that's not Irish, is it?
No, head is English, but
Yeah,
my
Boo.
mother's
Yes.
name was Fallon.
Okay,
Probably
oh,
why the marriage
okay.
didn't last as long as
Okay,
it
we
was.
got you.
That explains a lot.
You'll get a pass.
English and the Irish.
Well, why don't we start to you? We'll go from right to left or right, depending on you look at it.
Okay, my name's Harold Bush. Live in Henrietta. I've been playing drums for probably 50 years now or more.
He started when he was -5.
-5?
No,
right.
I started when I was 8, actually.
Wow.
so-
And it's more than just a snare drum. Well, we'll talk about that later. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Elena Rick. I'm from Fairport, and I play the violin.
Good job, you do.
Thank you.
All right, my name is Jack Brennick. I am the resident mandolin player, even though my guitar is really my instrument of choice. And I'm really happy to be here tonight.
You do a good job on that mandolin for this group. Great job. And I don't know, why don't we go with you?
All right. My name is Alexandra Barbado, and I'm the flutist in the group.
Irish name there.
Yeah, very Irish.
And my name is Mike Newry. I live in Greece, and I play the guitar, the bass, and a little bit of mandolin too.
And we all sing? Almost. Well,
Harold refuses
drummer-
to
the
sing,
drummer
but
doesn't sing.
The
he wants to
drummer
focus
doesn't
on the
Drummer
drums.
doesn't sing.
Almost all of
So
us.
almost half of us. Well, really enjoyed what we've heard so far. We got more to come, but I did have a few questions for you. And being this is the interview segment, I want to get a little information to the public so they know a little bit about you. And but I'll start out. We got the kind of music you do, of course, is Irish music. But do you do like other kind of music too, like?
We do. I mean, when we first started out, Jack, Mark, and I, about 15 years ago or something like that, we actually started out playing classic rock, or like folk rock, I guess, Crosby, Stills, Nash, some
neat.
Beatles, and different things like that. And I think one day, Jack, actually the Scottish guy in the band, brought an Irish tune, and it just kind of got something going. And we started focusing more on the Irish stuff, but we still play some of those other songs to try to fit them into the set when it seems appropriate.
I also wanted to touch that Irish music. Is that something like Celtic music, or is that a whole different? Celtic is Welsh, isn't it?
Well, it's a lot of different things.
Okay.
Actually, a lot of the music that we play kind of has bounced back and forth between Ireland and Scotland.
Oh.
So a lot of the Irish songs that people are familiar with are actually Scottish songs originally. But they kind of shared a lot of the music history.
Boy,
with them.
from what I hear, I think the Australians would have a lot of Irish music.
Probably do too, yeah. I think
There's
so.
some story. There's a song you do about the relationship between Ireland and Australia, and I think you'll get quite a kick out of that. Well, sure wasn't fun for them, but we'll talk about that later. So you must do. I guess you do Irish. Well, before I ask that, we do have some Irish heritage here. We have Scottish anyhow. Yourself,
And
Jack,
Irish,
right?
yeah. They told me that my father was black Irish, so I'm not sure quite what that means, but
Means not a.
he grew up
yeah.
in New York Harbor, so I'll let that speak
Yeah,
for
just to
itself.
speak for itself. Interesting. and we have any other Irish?
Yeah.
Oh, you said on your mother's side.
My grandparents
Yeah.
on my mother's side came over from Ireland
Oh,
to
okay.
New York City during the potato famine.
Oh, neat.
And that's how we claim our Irish heritage.
Okay, and
Mine as well. My grandparents on my father's side both came from Ireland, early 1900s. So
quite a bit of history in Irish.
And my mother is an Oakley,
Okay.
and her father came over.
Okay. And any Irish?
Just a quarter.
Yeah.
Quarter Irish.
A quarter Irish. Oh, that's okay. Well, and really no Irish. But that
just
name-
by
Oh,
osmosis.
Yeah.
But in her soul, for
Yeah.
sure, I can see that beautiful accompaniment with the. Would you say violin or fiddle? I don't know.
Both.
Both,
Thank
and the flautist here. I mean, but just really adds a lot because we didn't when we
Does.
first reviewed you. I don't think they were in it.
no,
when
they were a secret
and,
weapon, and we hold them back.
So it was a big surprise when they showed up. I was really. My wife says, "Ooh, it's going to be better."
Yeah.
So and it was.
That's why we brought them.
Good.
Prettier and better.
Prettier and better, both. So do you do any? Basically, you do Irish venues. Is there any particular venue that you've done before that you could tell us about? Any kind of place that you played? Maybe one place you could tell us?
Yeah, we recently played at Studio 440, my Studio 440 in Fairport. And we actually just did a benefit a couple nights ago, too, in Henrietta or Rochester. So, yeah, we played in a few places around.
Yeah. Okay. Now, as far as Irish music, I know that we were talking about. There's also Celtic and there's Scottish and all that. Are they closely related?
Yeah, I think there's some pretty strong bonds there. They share a lot of things, probably. I mean, besides just the music and the culture, probably a certain dislike for the English imperialism as
There you
well.
go.
I just watched Braveheart not too long ago, and I was reminded of that.
Oh boy!
So
that was
I think there's like a sense of brotherhood between the Scots and the Irish.
I want to mention before we go any further that it was Kevin Gordon from FLTV in Canandaigua that introduced us to you. And Kevin has done a wonderful job since Frank Blonke passed away. And Frank was close to us for a lot of years, helped me a lot. And Kevin has done just an unbelievable job to just make things keep on smooth the way Frank had him going. And I really thank him for all he's done for us. And thank him for introducing you guys to us. But I know I just wanted to make mention that he's the reason we're together tonight.
Kevin's a good guy.
He's a great
Kevin,
guy.
if you're out there watching, thanks, buddy.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
thank you very much, Kevin.
Appreciate it.
Now, you don't have any CDs, but you got some in the works or something.
No, we actually did cut. We have a CD and we also have a DVD, and they are the DVD is still in production mode. The CD is actually ready. They just have to
good.
pick it up.
Great.
Okay.
Well, how about some contact information that you can give us that we can put on the screen underneath of you? We probably put it on that paper I just signed earlier.
Yep.
You want to give us that?
Yeah, my email address is mneary@rhnet.org. And that's a good way to get a hold of us, and if anybody cares to make any contact.
Okay, and phone number okay? Or?
Yeah, sure. It's 690-6776.
And we're getting really into the busy season with St. Patrick's Day and stuff coming up, and I guess if anybody in the future for next year even wants to get a band, they've got a great. So I hope you've enjoyed what you've heard so far. I just stay tuned, and we're gonna go on with some more music for you. Okay, see you in a bit.
Thanks very much.
Okay, so this next song is called Black Velvet Band, and it's an old song from probably the mid-1800s. It's a song about a poor Irish guy who's just going out for a night on the town, mind his own business, have a good time, meets up with a woman of ill repute who frames him for a crime he didn't commit. Next thing he knows, he's sent off to Australia to do hard time in a prison colony, which doesn't sound like a bad time to me necessarily going to South Australia, but for Irish guys, it wasn't a good place to be. They never came back. So, Black Velvet Band. Well, in a neat little town they call Belfast, apprentice to trade I was bound, and many an hour of sweet happiness I spent in that neat little town, till bad misfortune came o'er me, which caused me to stray from the land, far away from my friends and relations, to follow the Black Velvet Band. Her eyes, they shone like diamonds in the kisses of the queen of the land, and her hair hung over her shoulders, right up with the black velvet band. Like when I strolled in one evening, not meaning to go very far, I met with a fickle some damsel. She was playing a train about.
Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of music and develop a little chord solo. The particular song that I'm going to use, and let me show it to you. Actually, this is just, I copied it from a book. It's actually out of a mandolin book. One of my mandolin students has it. And the name of it is Near to the Cross. It's a gospel type, hymn type tune. And actually it was originally written for mandolin. But we could take the melody and the chords and we can play anything on it. Let me play some of the melody for you. It's in 3/4 time, it's in the key of C. C. And it's just a simple melody. One of the first things we're going to try to do is think piano-wise. If we were playing this, we could play in the left hand, we could play a bass melody, as the right hand is playing a chord. In this case, the left hand is going to be my thumb, so I'm going to pick out the melody notes with my thumb, and I'm going to pick out chords with my 3 fingers. The chords are basic, C, F, and G7. There's a C7 that we put in every once in a while, but they're the basic 1, 4, 5 in the key of C. And I particularly didn't even go over this a whole lot before I used it because I wanted to develop it here as we do it. So sometimes we'll be doing some changes or whatever, but let's go with it. We're starting out, we're in the key in C. That's basically it. Notice my thumb was picking out the melody as the fingers, as I'm holding a note. G7, C, D, F chord, C, now another thing that we'd like to be able to do is put the melody up an octave. Then what we're going to do is fill the chords in below the melody note. Let me play part of this up an octave. Now as I put the chords underneath that, here we have a C down here, but the top note is an E, flattening that out and getting the F, a C7 chord, and then an F chord with the C with the G up here, G7 with a D up here, that's another way that we can go. It's always a good idea to be able to read a melody as it's written, because as it's written actually is an octave difference than what we actually play on guitar. I think we covered that once, but I don't want to delve too much into that. But we actually play an octave higher than we read. When we read the middle C, we play this C, but middle C is actually that C. So we're playing an octave lower than we're reading. If we didn't do that, we'd have to have the bass clef involved. And years ago, they decided that guitar players wouldn't be able to read the bass clef, so why do it? Another one quick thing we could do is, instead of just using the plain chords, we can add some major sevens in a dominant seven. Let me just go through that a little bit. And here I'm playing a C major 7. And then I'm going to a C7. And a C7 with this D note is a C9. And then I'm F major 7. And then a C. There's a C6, C major 7, and then the G7 like this. Notice it sounds a little sweeter. And but there we have it. Of course, we could take it even deeper and change some chords. Let me think. And put other chords into it, but that's for some later date. Again, if you have any questions or if you have any concerns, anything that you would like me to cover, I'd be more than happy to do it. By the way, like I said at the beginning of this, the music, this actually came out of a mandolin book. I do know a little bit about mandolin. If anybody's interested in me talking about some of the basics of the mandolin or a 5-string banjo, I could do that too. So if you're interested, just give a call or email or a mail, and I'd be happy to do that. So until next time, you just keep on picking.
Welcome everybody to the music show, and this is the music showcase segment of the music show, and we have for you Mr. Harold Bush, right?
Yes.
Got it right.
Right.
Okay. And Harold, we had a great time with you guys. I mean, with what we've done so far, I've got a little bit more to go, but the group you're playing, what's the name of the group again?
Athenrye.
Athenrye, and that's an Irish name. Is there any history behind that? Or?
Well, it's a town in the country of Ireland, and there's a fairly famous song about the fields of Athenrye, which we have in our repertoire. And I don't know, the name just seemed to hang out, and people grabbed it.
Yeah, it is a good name. And with the Irish music, we've got a drummer, and you were a drummer tonight. And these drums are these Irish drums, or is it, what do you got?
Well, actually, the only really Irish drum, I suppose, is this bodhran.
How do you spell that? Just like
it's B-O-D-H-R-A-N, and it's pronounced actually bow, like the bow of a ship,
okay,
and ran, like somebody's name.
So it's bodhran.
So it's a bodhran.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's a frame drum. Let's see, you might be able to tell that it's a goatskin head that's been painted with this circle on it, and then the head gets, the hide gets tacked to the side of the drum.
If you hold it just a certain way, that you can actually get it on camera, close up on the camera of some of the things you're pointing out.
So you can see that it's tacked on, and the head is painted. This is a goatskin. There's crossbars. So most people take the crossbars out. They were originally used to keep the drum from warping. Now you can wrap your hand inside and use it as a way to apply pressure to the head.
Oh.
or rest your hand on it. So a lot of drummers will do that. And this one is also tunable. I don't know if you can get in close enough, but you can see these little pieces of metal here. You can apply tension so that you get different amounts of tension on the head so you can change the pitch of the drum.
So if I'm not mistaken, this is how you play. Can I show you? This is how you play this.
You want me to hold that?
Yeah.
Okay. The world's biggest tambourine, yes. No, actually, well, the truth of the matter is I'm not a very good buran player, but I'm learning. And this is a tipper, commonly used to play. And I don't know how I'm going to be too close to the mic here or not. But again, typically you want to pull it into your side and then usually 2 downstrokes and an upstroke. You want to try that?
Well, no, I'm going to let you do it, but can you do it backwards so they can see in the camera what you're hitting?
I've never learned how to play it backwards.
There, now they can see it better, though.
But just to give you the idea of a, and you can tell how much difference it makes when it's not tucked into your side. Just to give you some idea.
That is really neat.
On the songs we played tonight, I wanted to use a muffled head and get a much different kind of sound out of it.
So these guys are made. These are made with just cloth.
Yep, cloth
and rubber bands all around it.
Yeah, they're my specially homemade drumsticks.
Oh, that is really neat. And what else? Now that's a supposedly made and created in Ireland or supposedly.
Well, I brought this one back from Ireland with me from a fellow who's fairly famous at making them.
Wow.
He's in an artist cooperative down in there.
Now this other drum here almost looks like an African drum.
It is an African drum. It's a West African drum. It's a djembe, and you're going to ask me to spell that too, probably. Yeah. D-G-E-M-B-E is probably the most common spelling, but there's probably 5 or 6 spellings. And it's goblet shaped, as you might notice, and hand carved. There's somewhat of a story with this. My daughter was traveling through Ghana doing a pure water project, and she happened to meet a drummer, and she happened to remember her father was a drummer, and she arranged to have this made for me and brought it back from Ghana. It's hand carved. Again, I don't know if you can.
Sometimes the camera can pick up.
If the camera can pick up the inside, you might be able to see how it's carved. Let's see. That you can see that it's hand chiseled, and how it's chiseled has a lot to do with affect the sound. And playing it, you can either strike it on the side and get a fairly high tone. You can play it kind of in the middle, and then more, probably even more toward the middle, to get more of a bass sound. So maybe I can give you a touch here.
Move this out of your way.
Just to give you some example.
Yeah, that's amazing, the sound. You get the different now, I suppose using these sticks, you even get a little bit different sound?
Well, I have used, it's a hand drum, but part of what I'm doing here is trying to diversify. So I have used certain kinds of things. I have used certain kinds of beaters to when we're playing different kinds of rhythms.
They're like brushes almost, aren't they?
Right, they're kind of like brushes, and they're kind of like sticks.
Or plastic.
They're nylon, and you can adjust how flexible they are. They have these little rings around them, so they become more like brushes and spread out more as you give it more play, or you can tighten them up and make them more like sticks. So I've used that on a couple of numbers.
You use those too, or?
Well, these are tippers. I sometimes use those on the buran. Those are the typical strikers for the buran, bowran.
Now you use the snare drum in some of the songs too. And what are these typically used for?
Well, this comes probably much more out of a military tradition and probably a Western. I think the Swiss were big on Swiss armies were big on snare drums, and then they kind of branched out to Germanic and eventually the English. And actually, I think the English have mounted bands where they actually have mounted drums on the horses and stuff. But let's see, if we want to do a little demonstration of this, see if I can get it out of here. Good. but it's called a snare drum because it has these snares on the bottom, which provide a raspy sound. And here's the sound without the snares attached. And here's the sound with the snares attached. And I brought this along with the band because of all the Irish and Scottish music that we play and the sea shanties and the pirate songs that we do. Wow. I thought this gives it a little bit more of a military punch and sometimes a little more of a sea punch. So on one of the songs we did tonight, I'm playing a fair amount of rudiments, basic ways to strike the drum. And to give the song, to keep the rhythm moving and to kind of give it more of a military marching along kind of an effect. So
well, we really appreciate you showing these. That you use these in all the songs that we've done so far tonight, and be using them some more, I suppose. But I think your fellow band members are sitting right there. You can't see them on TV, but they're right there. And I think they're pretty amazed at what they just learned. So, so they liked the show. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And stay tuned. We got a lot more of the show to go. And thank you, Harold, very much.
Thank you.
Go on with the show. See you in a bit there. Hang in.
This song is a song about hope and reconciliation. It was written by Bono, Christy Moore, and The Edge. And it's we're going to play it for you tonight, and we hope you like it. Over the lock and feel your hand across the water. Walk with you looking on a proof road, not looking over my shoulder. I want to see, I want to hear, to understand your fears, but the north and south of the river. I've been doing it wrong all of my life. This holy town has turned me over. Man on the run from what he couldn't understand, as the wind from the lock blew colder and colder. There was a madness that had its way. Love wasn't lost, it just got mislaid. North and south of the river. Playing these old tattoos, darling, I don't have the answer. I want to meet you where you are. I don't need you to surrender. There is no feeling so alone as when the one you turn is your own. North and south of the river. There's some high ground that's not worth taking, and some connections are not worth making. The old church bells no longer ringing. Some old songs are not worth bringing. North and south of the river. Hope I say, would you? North and south of the river. on north and south of the river.
Welcome everybody to the music show. I'm Ray Braselton, your host. And today is kind of a sad day for us here at the studio. As you may have noticed, we have an empty chair. You should all know that Uncle Nick passed away. And we have a lot of things that we plan on doing here in memory of Uncle Nick. We're going to miss him greatly with his Uncle Nick's Corner, of course. I will miss him sharing this stage with me for the music show. I miss him right now more than you can ever imagine. And I know you all out there will miss him too. I did want to mention that he is very special to all of us. We're going to, if you need any information, we will have our Facebook, and I'll have the information here on the screen. The music show, find the music show on your Facebook, or check out the www.braseltonsmusic.com website, and we'll try to have as much information as to the things that we have planned. One thing we are going to do is we're going to do a memorial show coming up very shortly for him. Again, go to our Facebook or braseltonsmusic.com, and you can get all that information about Uncle Nick. So in spite of the fact that Uncle Nick isn't with us, in spirit he is. I hope you guys enjoy the show. This is really great what they did today, and the girls too. The girls aren't with us, but they had to get home. But I'll let you all introduce yourself real quickly again. If you want to start.
Hi, I'm Mark Head. I'm from Irondequoit, and I've known these guys collectively for about 25 years. Wow. So I'm privileged to be on stage with them.
I'm only 26 years old. I'm Mike Newry. I live in Greece, New York.
I'm Jack Brennick. I'm from the Rochester area, and you'll see me messing around with the mandolins, the basses, and the guitars.
Then our drummer.
That's right, Harold Bush, residing in Henrietta currently. And you saw me playing a couple of different drums here tonight.
Yeah, yeah. And did our showcase for us too, so that was great. Thank you for doing the showcase for us.
And thanks for the opportunity.
Oh yeah. And what's the name of our band?
Athenrye.
Athenrye.
It's the name of a town in Ireland, an ancient town that was a site of a lot of battles and a lot of crazy things. Has a lot of history behind
it. I have a few questions for you that I put together while you were playing, and I kind of wanted to know what really inspired you guys to get into Irish music to start with, because I know you had said that before. You had even done some classic rock years ago, but what was the inspiration for you to get involved with Irish music?
Because all of us are storytellers, and every Irish song tells a story, and I think that's really important. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about Irish music, and the stories can be funny, hilarious, like that Chowder one. What was the name of that one? Somebody's chowder.
Who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? It's irreverent humor as part of
yeah, that's about it. But you also have the very sincere love stories and the war
sad
stories, the sad stories, the prison stories.
They cover all the emotions. Yeah,
all the emotions.
There's solemnity and there's also celebration.
They're both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the same song.
I do play a lot of Irish songs, but I didn't realize maybe you said sometimes in the same song, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of history to the songs too, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, we sometimes joke that we play oldies, you know, not like 60s, 1960s, we're talking like 1860s or 1760s. Right. We actually play a song that was written in 1604, I think. So, I mean, a lot of these songs have really stood the test of time. And
I had brown hair then.
You had brown hair back then.
Just a young lad.
Well, some of the stories, a song that you did was Black Velvet Band song. And that was about, can you tell me, that was interesting. Can you tell me about that, maybe you, Jack?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is just the guy who goes out for a good time, not looking for any particular problem, and ends up getting banished from Ireland and sent down to what they call Van Diemen's Land, which is Australia.
now we'd all think that's a wonderful place to go, but back in those days, it was a prison island.
Yeah.
If you got sent to Van Diemen's Island, Van Diemen's Land, you weren't coming back.
And that was pretty rough country out there. Still is today. Sure. I mean, it hasn't changed that much.
Right.
It's really, that song too is about, I think the subtext of it is that, you know, Ireland's greatest export is its people. You know, whether it be, you know, to Australia or to America, of course, or England. You know, there is this sense of the Irish people of loving your land but having to leave it too, whether it be because of the famine or just tough economic times.
That's a song right there.
Yeah, and just letting go of what you've been so familiar with.
Well, what's the song? We also did the song One Road.
Yeah, that's a song of togetherness. It was written in the early 1900s, right after the Irish Rebellion, and of course, once you've had a rebellion and they kind of kicked out the English, you know, you kind of ask, well, what's next? Same thing, really, in our own history in America. You know, when you have the revolution, you got to find what you're going to do next to kind of pull everybody together, and that can be a tricky business.
And the song did talk about how we got to all pull ourselves together to one road.
Be united.
And as you said, says that's not exactly the way it happened. But
right, there were some tough times still ahead for them.
Yeah, they've been doing good lately.
Recently, yeah, they're on
and then North and South. What's that one about?
Ireland, actually, Ireland was a united country, and then 6 counties got claimed by the English. So Northern Ireland has always been the strife ground between the English and the Irish. Right. And the song North and South is about the need to put your differences aside, stop the hatred, and practice different kinds of coming together without all the anger and without all the hostility. That's what North
Which one was the one where you said about carpenters, picking up carpenters and picking up?
It was Black Velvet Band.
Oh, that was Black Velvet Band.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They sent the convicts off into these penal colonies that really were designed to help build up the country. And sometimes the English would be kind of particular about the men that they chose to send over, or you know, maybe trumped up the charges a bit for various crimes that they may have not even committed.
Just to get the help.
Yeah.
They were talented people in their field.
Tradesmen.
Tradesmen.
That's what the Irish say about it. I don't know what they always might say.
You know, this is so interesting, but that's what this show's been about, and I want to make sure we got this out, because that's what Irish music is, and I personally have grown very fond of it myself. And I want to thank you for all the music you've done. I know,
You're welcome.
You know, I know that that you guys have a CD maybe coming out in the near future. Can you tell us? You have any idea? Is it, you know, are you going to have it for sale? Are you going to be able to?
Yeah, we might have something in the works. We've been working on a couple cuts and some different tracks and things, and trying to figure out what's a good presentation of the various different songs we play, because a lot of the stuff, like you said, is slow and somber, and some of it is more upbeat, so it's just finding a good mix. But yeah, that's something that should be out.
Why don't we get the, maybe this is the time, can you tell us,
Sure.
give us a contact, email, and maybe a phone number, something that people did want to get your song, or even wanted to hire you, because I know you guys play out different venues.
Sure. Weddings, bar mitzvahs, you know, whatever.
We haven't quit our day jobs, but we like playing together. So.
Yeah. Well, give us a contact number.
Yeah, you can reach us at our email address, which is mneary@rhnet.org, or you can give us a call at 690-6776.
Great. And I know you've played different venues. Can you give me a couple of venues that you played, maybe? That you played out? Can you, any of you tell me one or two venues that you played at?
Sure, we played just last month at my studio 440 out in Fairport, and we have a couple other gigs that might be coming up soon in around Decoit.
You do a lot of things for St. Patrick's Day's week and everything, but during the year, do some things sometimes come up too for Irish songs?
We do private parties, and we do benefit things, and we keep pretty busy.
We're famous for backyard parties, you know, especially if the barbecue's going. And,
I'll bet. That's got to be the most fun barbecue you could ever have.
Kids running around and you know, people singing along, you know.
And I think there's a lot of interest in this kind of music too in this area. You know, there's a lot of cultural aspect to it.
Wait, real quickly, because I wanted to catch this before we are done here. What's the difference between? I mean, to ask you this all night long. I think I asked you once, and I forgot if you told me.
I think we dodged the question.
What's the difference? Celtic, Irish, sea shanty, Scottish. Is there any?
All right, we're gonna correct you. Celtic.
Celtic. I told you to correct me.
Correct
right on TV if I made a mistake.
Irish sea shanties. Ireland is on the ocean and surrounded by ocean, and there's a great affinity for the water. So boats and ships and seafaring and the whole exodus during the potato famine, they had to take ships to New York. So songs written on the sea there, and
sure.
And as a drummer, let me just throw in that a lot of the music is based on either a reel, a jig, or a hornpipe, and some waltzes. So there's a fairly fixed rhythm to the Celtic music and a certain kind of rhythm pattern.
And then you said Celtic. Is that Irish?
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Irish, Scottish, there's a lot of overlap.
A little bit overlap.
And even a part of France is included.
Oh, no kidding.
Celtic. Yes.
Well, there you learned it. I learned it. Maybe you all knew it out there. I just learned that, and I've always wondered too. You know what the Celtic meant, but it's a little bit of everything. Oh yeah, I really appreciate you guys being on the show, and
thank you too.
It's been
thanks for having us, Ray.
It's been fun. Thank you.
So from me, thank you, and also from Uncle Nick and Spirit, he thanks you, and if he was there, he'd be reaching over right
Thanks,
now.
boss.
Oh, Nick, would you get him? So from Nick and I, even though Nick's not with us now, in spirit he is with us, and he'll be on the show for Uncle Nick's Corners and different projects that we do for a while yet, I'm sure, and he'll forever be in our memories. So here's Uncle Nick, everybody. God bless you. Everybody, we'll see you soon.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Our troubles now and then. Now is the time to make them up again. Sure, we all Irish anyhow. Now is the time to step together.